right, guys, we are going to talk about the next story. So we just finished talking about the creation, and God made the earth and the world in 7 days. On the seventh day, he rested. And on this story, we talk about what happened to Adam and Eve. So Adam is the first man that God made, and God made him very special. And after Adam was made, God knew that Adam was very lonely. He was alone. So God created a partner, a wife for Adam, and her name is Eve. Well, the way that Eve was made was that Adam was asleep, and God took a rib, one of the bones, from Adam, and he created Eve. It's amazing, right? It's only something God can do. So that is how Eve was made. So there was a man named Adam, and his wife's name is Eve. They are the first people on earth. And so they lived in a beautiful garden that God made for them. This is the garden. And the garden's name is the Garden of Eden. And this is the garden that they lived in. And Adam was in charge of naming all the animals. So he had the job of naming what are all these animals going to be called. It's a pretty amazing job. So that's what they did. They lived in this beautiful garden. They had everything they needed in this garden. Food and ways to rest and enjoy. And they were just so happy here. God had one rule. You can eat from any tree, all the fruit from any tree, but only one tree do not eat from. And that tree was called the knowledge of good and evil. So the rule was you can eat everything except for from that tree. Well, one day, this is who? This is Eve. She went to this tree, and she saw all the fruit sitting on this tree, hanging from the tree. And this is a snake or a serpent. And the serpent started to say things to Eve. You should eat from this tree. It'll make you just like God. And he started to say things to trick Eve. Well, even though the serpent was doing that, it is her choice what she was going to do. So she decided that I am not going to listen to God. I know he told me not to eat from this, but I really want to eat from it. And she listened to what the serpent said. And she disobeyed God. And she took a bite of this fruit. And after she ate from the fruit, she gave it to her husband, Adam. And Adam also ate from the fruit. Well, guess what? As soon as they both ate from the fruit, God was very disappointed, and he was not happy with what they did. He told them they were supposed to not eat from it, and they disobeyed. And so some sad things happened. Adam and Eve, they had to leave the garden. They could not live there anymore. God also told them that Adam was going to have to work really hard to get money and to be able to get food for his family. They couldn't live there in the garden anymore. Animals were not going to all be friendly anymore. It was a whole big sad story. And that is when sin came into the world because of the choice that Eve and Adam made that day. So they had to leave the garden. And after they left the garden, they went back. They had to live without the beautiful garden, and they had to remember that we have to learn to obey God. And so that is the first story, is about Adam and Eve. And so next we'll talk about other characters in the Bible that were really important, that also learned different lessons from their mistakes or from doing the right thing. Okay, good job. Thank you for listening.